Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh. In this week's video, I'm going to be breaking down an effect that I posted on my channel. I was just looking 15 years ago. Yeah, 15 years. I'm kind of dating myself here, but it's a trick that I created when I was getting into magic and I was building effects and putting them together and performing them and whatnot. It's called Dinner for Two. It's one of those effects that I never got around to teaching or going over an explanation or anything like that. So I wanted to do that this week in this week's video. Okay, so if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna link it in this video and then come right back here. We'll break it down step by step so you can be on your way performing this two selection routine. Again, it's called Dinner for Two. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you again right back here for the explanation. Okay, we're back at the table breaking down Dinner for Two. If you just got back here from checking out the effect from the previous video that was posted all those years ago, hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, that's something I first came up with when I was just piecing together effects. So it's one of the first little items I put together. So this is how we do it. We're gonna do the step-by-step breakdown right now. Okay, so first selection, we're gonna dribble the cards. We'll thumb over the card and bring it to eye level so that they can see that. Okay. Now when I come back down, I'm going to square the card back with the deck, and then I'm going to position my hand to do the ego change. Okay, and the way I do that is my thumb is going to go along the long edge near the corner of the deck. My index finger is going to go along the long edge like this, so I can get a grip better with my pinky at the bottom corner of the deck. And you'll see why in a second, because what I'm going to do with my pinky is I'm going to drag that card and make it perpendicular with the rest of the cards, like this. It's going to look like this, exposed. Okay. So the card gets dragged perpendicular with the rest of the cards. So again, I'll dribble the cards, show them the card, square it, get ready for that ego change. And the change happens as I dribble the cards basically nice and tight over the hand so I can kind of cover all of that action that I'm about to do. So I'll bring the hand with the rest of the cards over maybe the front near the top like this as I do the ego change. And I'll dribble the cards, and that hand is covering all of that action, okay, from the top and the side. You can see it just there. So I need to now bring that card to the bottom of the deck. And the way I do that is in a squaring action. I'm going to do like an all-around squaring action. So I'm going to bring the card to the bottom as I'm doing an all-around square action. So again, you dribble, ego change, dribble, bring it to the bottom in that all-around squaring action. Okay, and that's how you do selection 1. Now selection 2, super basic. Just spread the cards and have them take it out. Okay, so I'll do that. I'll just leave the card on the table for now, but they'll be holding on to that card. And what you're going to do now, while they're checking out the card, or both spectators are checking out that card, is I'll gather the cards and square them up, and I'm going to do a TG deck flip. But I'm only going to flip the cards 180 degrees, because in the flip usually goes all the way 360. But since we have that selection now on the bottom, it's face up, and I do the TG deck flip halfway, it looks like nothing's actually happened at this point. So as the attention comes back to the deck, as you're taking that card back and placing it in, it looks like you're just putting the card back into the deck. And the rest of the cards are all face down, like nothing's actually happened. And that's exactly where you want to be. And so the next thing I'll do is sort of a little convincer. You don't have to do this. You could just push it in. But I hold the cards in my right hand, and that kind of gives me an advantage at this point, because I can do this fan that I first learned in a Rocker Bomber book. It's called Card Finesse. And it's a fan called Drawing a Blank. And basically what it lets you do is it makes it look like all of the cards are like I said, face down, and you're getting this image of this border, almost like the borders are the image that they're seeing with the card sticking out. So it looks all copacetic at this point, right? So again, you don't have to do that. You could simply just push it in, but I like that little added convincer of doing the fan and just pushing the card in at that point. So where we are now is we have the first selection face down on the top of the deck. The rest of the cards are now face up because you've just pushed the second card, or the second selection rather, into the face up deck. Okay, so now we're going to do the ego change again, and that's going to create this effect that like the cards are now face down and all of a sudden, boom, they're face up. So when I get ready for that, I'll do that half little all around square. I'll do the ego change, bringing that card back to the bottom as I complete it with that all around square. And now the cards have just, magically turned face up at this point. Now I'm going to spread the cards. They'll see the first face down card, but you don't want to spread all the way, okay, because you're going to be exposing that selection, right? So just get that image of the cards are now face up, all but one. And what you'll do now is strip that card out and leave it on top of the deck. You're going to execute a switch now because I want it to look like I'm turning this card over, but I'm actually going to be exposing this card on the top. So in order to do that, I'm going to be doing the Visa switch, a Kevin Ho move from the Smooth Operations booklet from also a long time ago. But anyway, how it's done is you have your fingers on bottom and your thumb on top in like a really loose grip, right? Just at the side like this. And basically in slow motion what's happening is you're tossing the cards downwards. And as the cards are flipping halfway in midair, you're catching that card at the back or the bottom of the deck, right? And it's coming face up into view like that. So in slow motion, it's like you're tossing, the deck's turning face down, and you're showing that selection. So in sort of like a real time, it kind of looks like this. Okay, and that's the first selection that you just revealed. Now, in order to get to the second selection, you can do a number of things. And if you checked out the video, I did a Chad Nelson move called the clip shift. And basically that's just like it's a one-handed one card shift where the card will come from the bottom to the top. You could easily just do something like you could palm the card from the bottom, right? Wave your hand over it and do a change to get that second selection. So it's really up to you. You either palm the card or perform the clip shift. So yeah, you'll do that Visa switch, show the card, bring it back on top. Maybe I'll palm the card off and make it change and whatnot. And at that point, you just do a double turnover and you've pretty much done the effect. I mean, that's really it. I know that kind of might have been a little complex and fast. It's not too crazy advanced, but that's really it for dinner for two. One thing I will notice and also say about that trick is it's kind of reliant on angles, right? You're not going to be performing this for a wide group of people for the mere fact that you're probably going to be flashing some of the moves, especially that ego shift or that ego change. That's something that they'll probably notice and get a glimpse of. So what I'm going to do later on in another video is I'm going to give you another method that's going to be more angle proof, something that you can kind of have a 180-degree field of viewing, okay? And that's going to be coming up at another point. And so that's dinner for two. Thanks for checking out the video. And if you like content like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot to me, and I'll see you on the next one.